go south to Castlewood Canyon State Park through the south entrance. Then this will turn into dirt, go through the park, and then continues on to Lake Gulch Rd. That's dirt. Then go back on Upper Lake Gulch Rd, turn west. That's going to be paved. Sorry, that goes to Upper Lake Gulch. Turn left on that. That'll be paved for a little bit, and then turn dirt again. And south. And now it's going to turn west. Go down to I-25, Larkspur, to the entrance to Castlewood Canyon. Sign. Lesser used entrance to the park. Come in south. A little paved trail on the left. So that's a really good section of the Cherry Creek Trail. So if I would have stayed straight on that the road, turn right, and there. In this parking area, there's a golf toilet, also air pump, as well as like tools. Use that. Last stop for that. No water there. No water on any part of the side. Pretty dry. Water. Parking area for the park. the remnants of the Castlewood Canyon Dam. I can't remember exactly when that was built, but that flooded. The dam broke in the 1930s, and so water would have been back here in this area, and then the dam broke in the 30s, and water flooded through the canyon here, or down the Cherry Creek, and then eventually made its way to Denver, flooded Denver as well, which is about 40, I would say from here about 46 miles north. So you can see the left side of the dam here, and then if you look across the canyon, you should be able to see what's left of the right side of the dam. And then you can see the hiking trails down there for Castlewood Canyon State Park. It goes around that little notch to the left, and then you can either go to the right and stay to the right of that little outcropping, or you can stay to the left and stay in the basin of the Cherry Creek and then climb up. So the main entrance is kind of up there, straight ahead there. And, you see people seem to be heading back that way. You can also go up on the other side of the dam there, and then the trail will go up onto the top of the rim and go north, kind of to where I came in, and the trail can catch up back at that vault toilet parking area. So yeah, beautiful area up here, and just kind of see the sign there, you're now leaving. So this road here is just straight through, so you're allowed to bike through this. Not a whole. Alright, I'm on my way again. Construction going on to the right here. So when I do encounter cars back here, they're usually heading into that road. So making their way through that road. I see delivery vehicles, FedEx, Amazon, these units back here. Otherwise, not a whole lot of traffic. Great. Usually more bikes back here than cars. Alright, now that we're back here on this gravel road, I'm trying out another microphone. It's a little wireless mic. I've got the receiver hooked up to the camera and the transmitter on my jersey here, so we'll see how that works. This is my first trial with it. See if you can pick up my voice a little better with maybe a little less wind noise back here. So still just cruising along pretty easy. So what I'm riding right now is I think it's the first generation Poseidon X, and so 1x setup, so it's got a 10-speed chain ring in the back, or cassette in the back, and it's like an 1148 tooth, and then in the front for the chain ring I've got a 40 tooth chain ring. Everything else on it is not especially high end. This is definitely a entry level bike, but works pretty well. Usually when I'm riding back here, I ride on a little bit wider tires. I think I've got 44s or 45s. It's a 700 by 45 tire on my other wheels, but I had these ones on there. Didn't really feel like readjusting the brakes and everything, so using what I had on, which is Gravel King. I think these are 35 width, so you could definitely go wider for a little bit smoother ride back here, but it's nothing that you really need. A lot of the kind of single track trails around here can be pretty sandy, so it's nice to have the wider tires for that. Kind of float over that a little bit. On this stuff, definitely smooths out the bumps a little bit, but yeah, nothing too crazy. Looks like I might get a little bit of cloud cover, which is nice. It's getting hot riding up through Castlewood Canyon, but back here it's been a little cooler. A little bit of a breeze, which is great. So, big mountain there is Pikes Peak to the south. So down by Colorado Springs. A little bit obscured with the clouds. Kind of surprised I haven't seen more wildlife back here. Usually I see deer, mule deer usually, pronghorn, wild turkeys. Occasionally I'll see porcupine, skunk, raccoon. And then in the ranch land, horses and cows. Usually I'm able to see some raptors too, hawks of some sort. Yeah, so this section generally trends kind of uphill, but for the most part feels fairly flat. No big grades here. Yeah. At times this gets a little washboardy or soft on the edges, so it's the only thing to really watch out for back here. Coming up on Lake Gulch Rd. So I'm going to take a left or a right onto that and head west for just a little bit, then turn left going south again on Upper Lake Gulch Rd. So this is all new miles to me. I usually come down here to the stop sign and turn around, so pushing the distance a little further today, and we'll see what we find out there. Car coming here, so just wait for them to go. All right. I don't like riding on the road with traffic. Not something I usually do, but luckily I don't have to be on here for too long. and thankfully not too busy. All right, I'll catch up again once we get on the other road. All right, so I'm off of that road on another one. You can see I got a big climb ahead of me here. Then I believe this will start dropping down. The top of this hill. Needed to switch out the GoPro battery. I'm using the media mount or whatever it's called. It was not easy. I didn't realize I had to take everything apart. A decent descent there, which of course means I'll have to go back up that on my way back, but we'll worry about that later. So, kind of heading southwest now towards Larkspur. Nice out here. There's a little more traffic than I expected back here, but not too bad so far, so hopefully that keeps up. Continuing to head south here. Just encountered about 3 bikers going the other way, so a few other people out back here. Got kind of a mix of gravel tar here, pretty smooth. Still generally traveling uphill, so this section should be fun on the way back. Little rolling hills. Looks like I've got about 5 miles left on this before my turnaround. Just keep on going. Scenery shot here, so road I'm on keeps going there, and then as we pan over here to the right, nice view of the Front Range. You can see the road down there. Looks like there's a car on there right now, so that should be where I'm headed here soon. So I should start heading downhill here pretty quick to the top of that hill there, and I should be heading downhill going west. Well, mostly downhill, I guess. It was generally hillier than I thought it would be, but that's okay. Actually, I thought it was going to be pretty much a descent from the east side there going down west towards I-25, which would have made for a big climb coming back. So I'm okay to mix it up with a little bit of downhill and uphill this way, so I'll get some of the same coming back. On what I'm hoping is the last climb here before I turn around. I'm definitely moving slow here. So about ready for some food, some drink, turn around and make my way back. So see what we find at the top of this hill. Well, it's not a descent, but it's not really another climb either, so we're getting there.
goes my water bottle. Ah, it's bumpy. Somebody lost their license plate there too. All right. Surprised my chain's still on. Watch out for that on an otherwise fun descent. All right, so now I'm at I-25 at Larkspur. So that's the Upper Lake Gulch Rd exit. And I'm about 21, 22 miles into my ride. So now I'm at my turnaround point. I'm gonna stop here, eat a little bit, conquer that long uphill, but on the ride back after this beginning section, it should trend mostly downhill, so that'll be nice. All right, I have turned around, stopped for a little bit. It's looking a little stormy. Be okay if I get rained on a little bit, but don't want to get caught out in too much. All right, now I will be doing this long climb back, which doesn't look like it's super steep. It was fun coming down, but I think just slow and steady going back will be the key. I'm off the pavement, back on dirt road, making my way up the hill from I-25 at Larkspur. I think I'm about halfway up the hill. You can hear a little bit of thunder and past where I dropped my water bottle. So just slow and steady going up the hill here. I think it gets steeper in a little bit. So just keeping my effort relatively easy. Gets pretty steep there towards the end, and halfway through my ride, energy for climbs is fading. Luckily, get a bit of a reprieve now with some up and down, getting a little bit of sprinkles on me right now. Hopefully it stays like that. Doesn't turn into much more than a light shower. my way out, I said I was going to be on Upper Lake Gulch Rd, and this is in fact Upper Lake Gulch Rd. But what I was on earlier, the paved section where I swapped out my GoPro battery, is actually Garton Rd. I'm sorry for that. I'm not exactly sure where it switches from one to the other, but probably at one of these corners. Either this left-hand turn coming up or the right-hand turn where I'm on some pavements. Bit more rain and thunder than I'd like. I think I'm about to turn left and generally be going downhill, which should be nice. I think I'm getting through all the rolling hills here along Upper Lake Gulch Rd. So yeah, definitely feeling it now. Looking forward to some descents.